Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the building. You already know what time it is. It's time for another stream. And listen, we got a lot to talk about today, a lot to wrap up. And that's why we got to get NiiNii to discuss and debate all of these topics. Bro, welcome. How are you doing? It's good to be back.
Bro, I'm feeling good, man. Obviously, I was just saying to you earlier, man, it feels like the times we're seeing right now. What if we don't ever see them again for a long time? You know? What if these are the glory is for the next few years? We got to savor this. We got to start appreciating these moments. You know what I mean? 2 European Cups. We would have thought Champions League final, Super Cup final. In December, we're going to win the Club World Cup Series 2.
Just brought in a striker, a prime striker in his peak physical condition.
Peak, who is in his peak, the infancy of his peak. That peak's going to grow and grow and grow.
I feel like peak is almost a disrespect to what he's in, bro. He's on another planet, bro. You see his shape? That's the shape that I thought I could get into last summer and the summer before. Yeah. You know when you say to yourself,
we dream to be in that shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, this summer's a write-off, but next summer, and then it doesn't happen, and then next summer. But he's already got it. Maybe if I just, you know what I mean?
He's been had it for time now, since he was born with it, wasn't he? He was basically born with it, to be honest.
Bro, we were saying it backstage. I'm back and I'm better. Bro. We might just have to start.
I'm back and I'm better. That's what I'm saying, man. It's wow. What times to be in right now as a fan.
God. What's that film that they is it? Oh, I can't remember that film where they go. I'm back and I'm better.
I felt that, man. I felt that in my chest. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't know why I can't remember the name of the film because it's iconic. It's iconic.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly. I honestly believe that Lukaku has a regimented morning routine, and he just wakes up and he just rises out of his bed like the Undertaker's like. I'm telling you, that's the only way you can get into that condition. But listen, big up to everybody in the chat. I hope you're enjoying. We got a lot to get through, so we may as well get stuck into it right now, bro. I mean, do you know what? Let's start in a happy place, because obviously we had a little detour today with some strippiness, but we'll get to that later. Lukaku obviously turns up like half an hour late to his press conference. As I keep saying, lateness is greatness. I don't say it for no reason, people. He's going to be great. And he announces the number 9 shirt, bro. How do you feel about him taking that shirt? Are you happy that he's taking on the weight of that shirt?
I think this shirt number was made for him. I think Lukaku's living the dream that all of us had when we were kids. You know what I mean? To be the star striker of your favorite football team, one of the best teams in the world, the best team in London by far. You know what I mean? He's fulfilled the dream. He comes back, the club record signing on the biggest wages we've ever given anyone as well. And he doesn't come back with any fear. You know what I mean? He comes back ready, like this is destiny. I've been manifesting this since I was young. I came out at 17 years old. I came to this stadium at 17 years old. We all saw the video. We all saw the clip. And he manifests into the world. Yo, I'm going to play here one day. I'm going to lead this. And he comes back, what he always said, he wanted to be his own player, his own guy. And he's come back in a system that properly suits him. How many players even get that luxury? And he's gonna come here, he's gonna cook, man. He's gonna fry this whole league, and he's gonna cook up. It's mad. It's ridiculous he pulled this off, and he's the missing piece. By far the missing piece.
It feels like an understatement to even say unfinished business now. It feels like as if it's redemption. Like it's like he's possessed. The man is possessed. The way that he's moving, the way that he's speaking, the condition that he's come in. Obviously, today we heard I didn't get to see the training session, but it sounded like he was bouncing defenders left, right, and center. They couldn't deal with his strength, and that's saying something because we've got some great defenders. The guy just seems like as if he's on something else. He's on a planet, bro. I've never seen someone come so ripped,
man. That's what I'm saying. That's what desire does, man. That's what hard work. That's what chasing after your dream does. You know, these are the results of that, and it's it's one of them ones where not many people on this planet and world can say that they've achieved really at their full potential and really done it. That's a rare thing to do. That takes a lot of dedication, discipline, some serious discipline and hard work. And this is why we respect these guys. This is why they get paid the big money. This is why we watch them. You know what I mean? And for me, yeah, I'm very happy. Lukaku was always someone I was very disappointed that we let go so easily back in the day. And he kind of started my whole youth disillusionment that I had from quite early, to be fair. So I love that things come around in full circle. He's back now. The spot's there for him, that the shirt, the throne is there for him to take, essentially. And like I said, man, he's going to cook this season.
It's scary, bro. Guys, make sure you throw in all your chats. I really want to, get you guys involved in the conversation today. I want to see what points you got to make, and we'll definitely answer your questions and do that debating with you. Ken Berry says, thank you so much for the super chat. Big up to you both. NiiNii was the first Chelsea YouTuber creator I ever watched. Matt, the first Twitter, loved that. The first Twitter content I saw. Who thought we'd be here after 2015? Bro, I wasn't even here in 2015. I don't know what was going on in Chelsea social media back then. I was way off all these platforms.
I think I came in 2016, but yes, I think it's been like 5 years for me now on YouTube. I never even thought I'd ever even be doing this, to be fair. It feels like I only just sunk maybe last year. That's just what I'm doing for my job right now, which is like, who would have saw?
I remember talking to you about this because you never thought that this would be what you went into, because you always told me you're not the social media guy. Do you know what I mean? That was never your thing. Yeah, that was never my thing. And it's quite funny. I look back at my old videos, I'm thinking, raw, who was that guy on camera? Like, it doesn't sound like me, don't look like me, awkward, stiff. That's what I mean. It took me a long time to just like get comfortable with this and just, in the space.
In that sense. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. But
it's all part of the process, as they say. It's a real process. It's not an Arsenal process. It's a real process.
Yeah, of course, man. There's always been a plan, pushing towards and just keeping at it, to be fair.
Yeah. Aman says this isn't talked about enough, but in my opinion, J5 and Lukaku will be a brazy connection. I can tell. I mean, bro,
he's right.
What do you think about that? Because Lukaku, he said it in his interviews, in his presses. He said, "Listen, I can do whatever the manager needs. You need me to come short and hold the ball up, I'm going to do it. You need me to write the channels, I'm going to do it." What connections do you see this guy having in this team? Because he's so versatile.
Yeah, I just want to say, obviously, shout out Armin Ali making a fantastic point. I know we're envisioning the same thing right now, my friend. You know what I mean? The first time pass comes to Jorginho, quick chip ball over the top. You know what I mean? Lukaku, Jorginho, the eye to eye, they know exactly what's going to be happening. Lukaku's just already off the shoulder, boom. Through on goal, Lukaku left foot, bottom post, that's it. I mean, we can that's what we can be expecting for this season. It's exciting.
You know, also just so underrated about him as well is that he can finish with both feet. Obviously, we know he's left-footed, but the amount of times I've seen him just slide away with his right foot, he just knows how to find the goal.
It's deceptive, isn't it? Yeah, it
is very deceptive. Like, I don't want to go as far to say he's dual-footed, because I wouldn't say he's a Son or a Greenwood or someone of that ilk in terms of
it'll be like a 4-star weak foot. I'd say 4-star weak foot.
Yeah, he's confident enough. Like, he's not going to ruin a chance by saying, "Oh, I've got to use my left." He's not completely obsessed with using his left. If he has to hit it with his right, he'll go with his right 100%. What did you make of his comments about the Drogba situation there with the whole connection? I love the fact that he's idolized Drogba, and he's also being coached by Henry for Belgium. Like, you can't really pick different strikers to base your game off, I guess.
This is the Romelu Lukaku fairy story. Like, the fairy tale. This is like his legacy. Like, when we look back at his career, his story, his start's going to be so mad. And this is what he's done for himself. I mean, the things he's learned from them, the things he's learned from Antonio Conte is really being very instrumental in, like, really getting him back to, I think, what should be his peak fitness we're seeing. I think United is crazy. We saw him being way too big, and it all kind of thought us at the time that we thought, is this all Lukaku was going to be? And this is what he does. He's always fighting against the naysayers, a lot of doubters all the time. But I mean, the results are just evident. Look at the goals, the assists. I mean, look at the Euros. I mean, how many man of the match was he picking up? I thought he was the best striker in that tournament. And Belgium is unlucky they couldn't go through, because with him, you got a massive opportunity. So I think him coming here is going to be very interesting to see him linking up with with the team. I'm more interested to see how Tuchel's going to line him up. I wouldn't be surprised if we could even potentially see something like a 4-2-2-2 or something like that. I mean, I'd wonder if, like, Jorginho could cover that much ground. I'm not too sure, but
you'd need Kante next to him, I think, in a 4-4-2.
Yeah, certain games, who knows? But he does provide so many opportunities to try different things and play differently and link up with different players. And imagine, like, Lukaku just dropping deeper and guys like Hudson and Pulisic playing off him. We could do that in certain games, like, I don't know, Carabao Cup, FA Cup.
Yeah,
this gives you this better opportunities. So yeah, Tuchel got his man, and he's come back now.
Do you know who's really going to thrive? And this is easy. Like, it's just piss easy. I'm really just going ABC here. Reece James. Reece James to Lukaku is going to be the most said sentence you've heard this season, because the amount of assists he's been robbed of, like the delivery is so good, man. And like, I feel like nobody else apart from maybe Chelsea fans will sit up and take notice, because it's not turning into output. It's not turning into actual assists. No one cares. If it's not an actual assist, nobody gives a shit. Do you know what I mean? No one's gonna jot that down. But we see the delivery time and time again from that right hand side, whether it's the outside of his right boot, the inside of his right boot in an inverted position, or right out on the flank. He can whip it as well from the byline. He puts in dangerous crosses all the time, and it just calls for a striker who can get his head on it, has the anticipation, and knows how to finish at pace from wide areas. And I think Lukaku is going to absolutely feast there. He's also seems to be having those conversations with Werner as well in the training today. What do you think of Werner? Because obviously Palace got a bit of criticism from a lot of the fan base in terms of obviously missing that Trevoh Chalobah chance as well, with that ball in behind. Do you think his minutes will decrease if he doesn't start finding his shooting boots in this system?
I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like Tuchel would have a lot more confidence, because Lukaku can do what Werner does, but I think he can do more than what Werner does, because he has that technique. He can beat his man more consistently. He can cut inside. He can play people in better. And I think Tuchel will feel a lot more confident that, okay, if Werner's not doing it, other players get opportunities, and I've got a guy I can trust and who can do that when I need it.
Yeah. Someone's Spambo saying, "What's your predictions and expectations for Lukaku?" I think it's easier to just do Premier League, because you're going to get 38 games there. Yeah. All competitions, you don't know how far you're going to go. I did this question as well in my stream when we just announced Lukaku, and I did a phone-in, and everybody, mainly 90%, was saying minimum 20 Premier League goals. Would that be the bare minimum? Like, what for you would be a disappointing return? Because when someone costs this much, and like we expect him to be brilliant. Do you know what I mean? He's in his prime. He's been here before. Like, this is as close as you can come to a certainty in terms of output from a striker coming in. What's your minimum expectation for this guy?
I think I'll start with my disappointing one. That would be if he got like 15 to 20 goals. I think I'd be quite disappointed by that. I think I'm expecting him to get between like 25 to 30.
Really?
That range. Yeah, I think he can do that. I think in all competitions, we'll play in a lot of games. Games. They'll add up. For a whole season. So I do think potentially, 25, between 25 to 30, like 28, something like that.
So in the Premier League, maybe around 20 minimum. That Diego Costa kind of number.
Yeah, so between, I'd say between 18 to 27, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, literally, if you got a striker that will score you 20 goals minimum, we had it with Diego Costa in 2 title wins, you're basically halfway there. Do you know what I mean? That is the main focus for a striker leading the line.
But I also think too that it's got to reflect the quality of the league, because like recently in the Premier League, we're not seeing bare like 30 goal seasons or 28 plus seasons or anything like that. And maybe it's a bit harder to score because of the quality. You know what I mean? So I think that could be like a fair amount. It depends on how quickly he links up with his teammates and how they settle and like find those connections and play off each other. You like to think that now that there's basically like a game a week, there are going to be opportunities and time to work on that and grow and improve. So I think around that range. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a 30 plus season. I'm not ruling that out either. I think he can do that as well. So
listen, if we create the chances that I hope we will, Ziyech in his second season, Kai, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, Chilwell, Pulisic, like we got a lot of options here and a lot of different ways of creating chances, whether it's dribbling, directly into the player that is Lukaku, or it's crossing from different angles as well. Hopefully some balls in behind centrally as well, vertically through the lines. And we've got loads of ways of getting goals out of this guy. Someone said Pulisic's injured again. I actually didn't know that. Is that true, bro?
I haven't even seen, man.
It's not confirmed.
That would be quite.
Yes. I mean, bro, he just scored at the weekend. The last thing he needs is an injury. So I'm hoping
this could be an opportunity for Hudson-Odoi, though.
Yes,
I think he needs time.
Left forward role.
Yeah. But let's hope it is just a rumor, of course. But if it isn't, it does bring up questions now about Pulisic and these consistencies with his injuries. I mean, it's it's getting quite a lot.
Yeah, you can't build up consistency in form if you continuously get injured. You know what I mean? It's literally impossible. That's
he needs like a run of games to get back into form.
Exactly. So, you know, that injury time that you're out for, plus the run of games you need to get back just into full fitness. And then on top of that, how competitive his position is, he needs to stay, you know, fit consistently to hold it down. He obviously got his goal at the weekend. It was an improvement on the cameo against Villarreal. So he needs to stay fit and take advantage, especially while Ziyech is injured as well, who obviously had a great preseason.
Let's hope he's not out for too long, because I thought it's been phenomenal this preseason.
He was. Yeah,
I mean, the Super Cup performance. Wow, he was playing better every single game too. And his elbow, like, how random is that? Like, when does that ever happen?
Bro, I lost it on my watch along. Absolutely lost it.
Lords.
I couldn't believe it because I'd spent the whole. It's like I'd almost juju'd it, jinxed it. Like I had spoken. I did a watch along for every friendly. I had spoken on Ziyech is playing really well. Ziyech has not picked up an injury like he did last year. Finally, Ziyech is fit. Maybe this could be the start of Ziyech finally getting some consistent game time now that he's here earlier than the rest of the boys. What happens? Ziyech gets injured. Do you know what I mean? It's typical. It's typical.
It is like I
should have shut my mouth.
yeah. But you have to be careful for next time, man. You know, these bars hold some real power. You know what I mean? Oh my god! You know what?
You might be right. You know, I think it was. I might have to apologize to the man for that.
Yeah, that's mad.
Josh says, can Lukaku surpass the legacy of someone like Costa, considering his age? I know Costa was quite old when he was here, but do you think he has enough? I mean, how old was Costa when he came? 20.
He was 26. 26. Came out 26. Yeah,
good,
he wasn't too old.
Yeah,
I mean, players are playing to like 35 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the only thing that ruined it for Costa was that he obviously caused that little issue just in the middle of our title run with the rumours to China. And then obviously it didn't end well as well. I think obviously Lukaku would have to lead us to a couple Premier League titles. And then, you know, hopefully more as well. But he's more than capable of doing it. This is someone that does not look like they're slowing down anytime soon. When you take care of yourself like that, I can't assume that you're going to be just as soon as you hit 30, you're going to fall off a cliff. It just, I can't see it happening.
Of course. It don't happen no more. Right? But let's look at Ronaldo, look at Messi, the contracts are still demanding. You've seen it before with like Ibrahimovic. I mean, he plays till he's still 40 and still playing. So, yes, it's different now, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. Let's see. Someone was saying, can we talk about Tammy as well? Obviously, Tammy made that move to Roma. Really nice to see him showing support for Lukaku on Instagram today as well in the comments. He could have easily, I mean, you know, someone literally just takes your job title at work. Do you know what I mean? The number 9 shirt, everybody's excited, love struck emojis flying everywhere, but he's still wishing him well. It's going to be very interesting to see if Jose Mourinho takes care of him. You know, he's a little bit up and down when it comes to that kind of thing, young striker. But I think if he gets that emotional connection that Mourinho can have with a player, if they're, you know, willing to run through brick walls for him, willing to die for him, Zlatan Ibrahimovic kind of vibe. We know Tammy's a very emotional, driven guy as well. If that spark is there, could be a madness. So that's what I'm hoping.
I think that was by far the best career move. I mean, I would have preferred Atalanta, but I guess working under Mourinho, it still has some clout, you know, still holds some power. He knows how to work with strikers, and I think Tammy playing in Italy too, where, you know, the game's, it's a little bit slower, but it becomes more technical, as Lukaku's saying. You know, you have more tight spaces to play in. You know, Tammy likes to play on the ball, so that could really improve his technique. So I think, it's just a really smart career move.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to see how he gets on. I think it's nice to get out of the country, get out of England. Do you know what I mean? England's a little bit of a fishbowl sometimes. It's very, you know, the microscope's always on you.
Becoming a bit of their country too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Go and get some nice weather. You know what I mean? Change of environment. Tomori is obviously there. Giroud's there as well.
Fresh pass in the morning.
I'm telling you, it can help. It can help. It can do wonders. Bro, he may never want to come back. That's
what I mean. Fresh olive oil. Wines, just living his life, wearing sandals all day, you know.
Cheese on top,
linen shorts, linen shirt. That's what I mean. His sunglasses on. He's out with his babe too. She's tanning up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course. They know exactly what they did. They know exactly what they're doing in that move. I'm telling you, man.
I want to go to Arsenal. Of course.
That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah.
Smoke screen. It's an interesting one when you think about it, actually.
Yeah, man. And they come out with some nice culture. I thought he went there looking quite dripped up, to be fair. I'm liking his new haircut. I think the shirt's looking quite nice. Yeah. So, he came prepared, man.
You got to wish him well, do you know what I mean? Like I've always said, you know, despite some of the frustrations with the heading and things like that didn't quite improve, that always pissed me off. I was like, please, if you just learn how to head the ball, you're going to be clear. Do you know what I mean? Because now we can just hit you. You're 6'4". You can't go wrong. But, just you have to give him the respect. You know, I've said it before. We had Pato, Falcao, Higuain, and then Abraham comes in. No amortization cost, and just comes in for free, takes the number 9 shirt from Aston Villa in the Championship and rolls with it. You got to commend him. You have to absolutely commend him. We will address the elephant in the room, people, because I'm seeing it in the chat. Timo Werner, the abuse. I think I saw you put out a tweet. I haven't tweeted today at all because I was just off the grid completely, but I heard about it just before I went live. What are your thoughts on that? Because, of course, we're, disappointed, disgusted, kicked the man out of the ground, but I'm also a little bit surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be, maybe it's on general sale, you have to expect these kind of things, but I'm a little bit surprised that, because Timo's a very likable guy. Do you know what I mean? He's a very, just the thing is with Timo is that he doesn't hide from the loss of form or the poor finishing. He comes out in his interviews, he says what he's got to say, he speaks, he takes accountability, he says he needs to improve, and he puts in the work. Do you know what I mean? And when you're doing knee slides and then you're offside and you have to suck it up, and then you're on the bench, when you've come off and you're still dancing, enjoying the win, you have to love it. Like, it's very frustrating. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, if he can't fix the finishing, he shouldn't be a consistent starter because we've got a lot of competition. When we talk about the football on the pitch, we talk about that. But personally, in terms of actually just flat out abusing him, especially at the ground, I don't get that. It's crazy to me. What was your thoughts on it?
Right, it's just like this like fan entitlement thing I keep seeing all the time now. I mean, I'm just getting a bit sick and tired of it now. I don't know. I'd like to think that as we become more like educated as like a society too, like we're more like educated on like things like mental health and stuff like that. That maybe we like, apply that and onto like our entertainment, our athletes. You know what I mean? Like it's very easy to just see them as just like figures of entertainment and nothing more. Yeah. And and then fall into the storylines of the sport. You know what I mean? But in reality, real life is completely different. Things are happening behind the scenes that we all face in real life, and it is really no different. And I think that you'd like to think that we've become more modernized now and kind of become more aware of stuff like that, but clearly not. And I don't know. It just feels a bit backwards now at this point. Like obviously, guy getting up, completely embarrassing himself, and just like I was just thinking, what made him feel so confident to do that? And it's just like delusion. You know what I mean? Delusion can make you do a lot of things. Like it's always this thing these guys feel of like, I'm the victim. I'm the hero in this situation, and I'm standing up for what's right, and I'm saying out my club, blah blah blah. And it's just completely stupid, to be honest. It's nice to see all the players supported him and they all just laughed it off. And he got told off too in the stadium. And I don't know what happened to him outside.
So what happened then? Because I kind of missed it all going on. I'm guessing you got to see it. Did they address it? Was it announced to shut up? Was he kicked? Was he kicked out?
I think. I saw some retaliation against that. I think some woman was telling him off. I think people were saying on Twitter, I don't know what happened to him, but
do you know what it is? I don't know where he got this is the thing. Where did he get the confidence? Where did he get the confidence to do that? Do you know what I mean? Where did he find the confidence? I don't get where he found the confidence. He must have been. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. It must. I don't know. Maybe he just thought to himself, "Oh, everybody's going to agree with me." I honestly. That's
what I mean. They think they're the heroes in this situation, and they're the an injustice is happening against them, and that's Timo Werner missing and making his club bad, and no one else is saying it. But I'm different, and I'm going to say what's true, and it's just that dumb way of thinking, and it's just obviously Timo's got that support. Hopefully that's not going to affect him at all. You know what I mean? And
18 months out the stadium, maybe it's just someone.
That's what I mean.
How to act outside.
We forgot about all the nonsense that was happening every week with fans in this country, but just before lockdown. You know what I mean? Now it's just coming back straight away. Even in training sessions, it's he bought a ticket or whatever to come to the stadium to plan to do that. It's nuts. Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. Yeah,
it's incredible. Are you satisfied with Lukaku as our only signing of the season, or would you like more players?
I mean, I'd be satisfied if that was it. I'm cool.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I think we've addressed the issue that we could not go without. This for me, the striker position. If we didn't address that, I personally wouldn't have us in the title race, because I think City will get Kane. I think Liverpool are being very much slept on. You know, they had a lot of issues last year. There was
adding
deaths.
Konate.
Yeah, they've added Konate. I think people forget about the personal issues that Liverpool players and manager had to deal with. That definitely affected them psychologically.
Mad point.
So many injuries. They're back now. They're hungry as well. They've been, you know, a lot of people have said to them, "Oh, you're done. You're finished. You need a new cycle of a team." Potentially now that's going to, you know, motivate them to kick on and do a madness. They dispatched of Norwich on the opening day, and not surprisingly, so as well. So with Lukaku, I've always said, for me, we're in the title race with Lukaku. I think when you see Trevoh Chalobah coming through, we see the multitude of positions he can play. He's played in a back three. He's played in a 3-man midfield. He's played in a pivot. You mean Lorient had him everywhere? Honest to God, I think even at one point right back.
Yeah, and he ended the season very strong with him when he was moved to the back, playing in his best position. You know, he was starting to really display his passing range, and he was playing a key part for the team. So I feel like he's definitely continued that end of season form through pre-season. That gave him the confidence. You know, he feels like, I know how to do this system. I've been doing this my whole life, basically. You know what I mean? And he's done it. And this is what I mean. He's not playing it safe. He's not looking to show the manager that he can just like do the job. He's making a statement. He's showing him what he can bring to the team. That's the difference. And this is why this guy needs to get an opportunity for that, because it's audacious. It's that confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? Of wow, like I know I can make this happen. I know what I'm doing, and he's showing that. You know, a fantastic performance against Villarreal, and his performance in the league as well. I mean, let's not forget the progressive passes in the final third. He was, and we could see
he was
some
top
great
3,
passes.
wasn't he? Top 3.
I think got like 14 or something, right? And this is a guy that's trying to show the manager, look, I can bring this to the team. You know, there's so many times he could have played a safe pass out to Reece James or played it back in the fields.
This is the thing.
He was stepping up. He was,
potentially, maybe, you know, first couple competitive games for Chelsea, might play it safe. But he is 22 years old, and he played in the top 5 league last year. I think that's what we forget. He's got an abundance of experience under his belt. Do you know what I mean? He's been playing
over 100 games, and it makes a difference. You know,
he's been playing games.
And the thing is, too, bro, when you play, this is what everyone forgets, too. When you play with better players, you know what I mean? When you're playing with better players on your same wavelength, you know, he was playing with some top quality like the academy. And a lot of times when you go to some of these clubs, they're not of the same caliber. That's what I mean. Manager might use in a basic way. There could be like a basic system that plays its strengths out to wingers and shit like that. Yeah, it's all those realities, and this is why I'm always like having more faith in the academy guys, because we've raised them on how to play in back 3 systems and in really
since
modern
Conte,
ways and approaches.
This
has been a thing, and you know, they can play in a multitude of ways in different positions for a high level too, not just doing a job. And it's just like, you know, for playing this modern way and we're producing players ready for this, you know, they should really be looked at seriously, because as we're seeing, man, these guys are leaving and they're playing in top divisions. Like I'm not seeing any other club doing that.
Do you know what it is? I feel like too often people will use the past as an excuse for now, and they'll say, well, previously in other crops of youngsters, we haven't done that, and we haven't done this, and we haven't done that.
But that's frustrating to me. That's frustrating.
We need to appreciate the special mentality that this crop have. Do you know what I mean? Because I think, yes, we had talent before, but maybe there was just a few things that didn't align. Manager, you know, wrong time, you know, right, maybe wrong place. You know,
poor loan moves a lot of times.
Poor loan moves, injuries as well for Charlie Masunda. He had a great game against Brighton away, I believe it was. Nottingham Forest in the cup, but then he got an injury and etc. These guys, they look physically imposing on men's football, and then they have the tech as well. You look at Livramento. We were screaming about it in the last stream we did together.
Look how big the guy looks.
Bro, look at him.
Looks like he's seasoned already. Bro, he's 18. Everyone's forgetting these guys are, you know what I mean? It's mad. I'm
19 years old.
How people not rating this guy?
He puts Carl Walker-Peters on the bench immediately on the first game.
Great. That's how we've been
straight away.
Let me tell you one thing I love about Livramento's game. This is what I mean by a lot of times, you know, I feel like we can like get in this habit of like thinking of players, but like, okay, what's their FIFA rating score sometimes? You know what I mean? It's just like instant down ratings for no reason, and this whole thing about experience.
Handing out bronze cards when it should be silvers.
You need to have the quality first to even get on the fields. You know what I mean? Experience you add, but you need that quality first, which everyone forgets. And there's this one skill that Livramento does, which is his trademark skill, that La Poqueta. And I just love that skill he does, because you know why it's so intelligent? It's like he's running at one pace, but he can change his direction just like that and continue that same momentum. You see him that Southampton
this
game.
is what a natural wing. He's a natural wing. You can see it in his build
and it's
everything.
like he clocked the technique you have to use. This is what I mean. I feel like a lot of times, like even as fans, we don't even talk about the technique of players. It's like comparing like what makes this sick and what makes that sick. Just like appreciating what makes these guys good. And that skill he does in the wing. I'm not seeing other wing backs do that. And you can tell he's clocked it because look how quickly he does it in one pace. Like that's a sick skill to have. That's gonna get a lot of like people clock onto that more. Like the more he starts playing. You
only have to look at the roster of Academy Player of the Years in recent years. Mason Mount, Reece James, Tomori, Gallagher. Like when you win that award at an academy like Cobham, you deserve the respect. Do you know what I mean? Because Cobham, it's a big award.
Yes,
like that's what I'm saying. It's like going to Oxford and getting not a first, like something above a first. Do you know what I mean?
A double first.
like a zero. I don't know.
I
don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's like we need to. I feel like sometimes, like you said, we act like these guys are robots, or we act like these guys they're not human. Do you know what I mean? They're just chess pieces and we can just move them around wherever we want, whenever we want. Do you know how difficult it is to be a professional footballer? And then do you know how difficult it is to be a professional footballer at Chelsea? This is the best academy in the world. Nobody's telling me anything else.
The level
best
is
academy
higher.
in the world. It's difficult. It's difficult. And Trevoh Chalobah is an example of that. And I think, again, we have to have that room for development, because look at how old Livramento is and look how old Trevoh Chalobah is. Trevoh Chalobah, a lot of people are giving him the hype now, but that's because he's 22 now. He's quite well refined. He's had his experience. At 19, you would have been maybe cussing him, man, be like, yo, get out of here. You're not that guy. But now you can see as he's got older, now he's looking ready. Do you know what I mean? And that's I guess where the club were trying to go with the loans and trying to build them up. But obviously they want to play now. Harry says massive respect to both of you as well. Two of the best content creators. Please discuss and predict the likelihood and frequency of Tuchel using a back four. I'll let you say what he's going to say, and then we'll do that as well.
I was just going to say, that's like obviously seeing like what the benefits of the academy can bring, just like the depth of quality. You know what I mean? Of guys like Chalobah not really even being seen like that is making us remember. Of course, like this is what it can bring. You get to thinking about other players. Like look at Ian Maatsen. Like no one's talking about him right now, but he had a good loan spell last season. I think he's starting the season quite well too. I think he's only like 19, 20 years old. He has another good season, gets another good loan move. It could be like maybe a season or two before he's tapping on and potentially trying to win a first team spot or get in the team. And this guy's a proper talented Dutch left back player too. So man, we got depth and quality at this club. Like,
and make no mistake, it's not us saying that they all need to come through. There's many players that we're not mentioning because we don't think that they're probably of the level to make it. And the thing is, the baseline for Chelsea is if you can turn them into a Premier League footballer, you've done an incredible job from taking them at 7-8 years old. But we're talking about the creme de la creme of this crop. Do you know what I mean? Livramento, do you know what I mean? Creme de la creme of this crop. I've even seen people like writing off Mark Gurley after one game. I was like, please don't.
He wasn't even bad in that game. I don't remember him getting.
I mean,
the ball or getting
we conceded a set piece and a long shot. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't exactly. It wasn't exactly ripping them apart like Man City.
Exactly.
He'll learn. Do you know what I mean? It was his first. People forget it's his first Premier League game. But what do you think the likelihood is of us using a back four? Because me personally, I mean, I think we seem to be quite nailed on back three most of the time, especially if we're chasing another centre back in Conde. To have this many centre backs already, you have to be playing a back three, surely, because you can't play a back four with this many centre backs. They got to leave.
It's interesting. Wasn't there like some quotes recently about? I think one of the players maybe was saying something about maybe a surprise tactics or surprise formation, if I remember. Do you remember anything like that?
I don't remember this. No.
Like you guys in the chat right now, do you remember that quote from like a few days ago? I think from Tuchel or one of the players or something saying that.
Well, they've been trying some different things.
Yeah, like a surprise with Lukaku coming in. I could have sworn I read that somewhere recently.
I didn't know that.
Quotes. If you guys know, make sure you guys.
There's been so many interviews and press conferences the last few days. I can't even keep up.
It's just been mad. I did 3 videos today thinking, bruv, what I mean? I'm still out here working. Having a good time, man. Okay, so Harry's saying it was on the Chelsea website, but not much substance to it. Okay, fair enough then, mate. So I guess no substance to it then. So I wasted everyone's time. Sorry about that.
we used it a few times when Barnsley, I think, was one of the games we switched because maybe we couldn't build out the way out the back that we wanted to. So he switched it mid game. I think the two times you're going to see it is either an altercation in game to change the shape and to really throw off the opposition at halftime if things are not going right. And also if you play an attacking right wing back in Hudson-Odoi, you're pushing forward and you move everyone across, then you get it in game as well like that.
Yeah, and I think, so I think I was maybe kind of right then, the chat saying something about Tuchel mentioning using 2 up front, and potentially could that be like a 4-4-2 type of situation? Because, if you've got Lukaku dropping deeper, you know what I mean? If you have players like maybe like Mount and Havertz who can play as the cams, who can like drop deeper as well to like make that flat four and help you defend as well with one of the strikers dropping deeper, that we can still make that work as well. So maybe is it going to be like 3-4-1-2? Is it going to be like 4-2-2? I mean, we have so many great attacking players that against certain teams, maybe it makes sense to use something more adventurous because we have the quality now to really take advantage. Yeah,
no, it would be interesting to see. I think what we're blessed with is Azpilicueta, Reece James, Trevoh, a lot of players that are comfortable moving over to that right flank and just slotting it over there and allowing us to switch formation without even having to make a substitution. And I think that's key. The fact that we can do that without making a sub is critical for us actually changing formation more often, I think, just to throw off the opposition. When you have to make a substitution, you have to be careful because you get injuries. You usually save one as well because we only have 3 to, near the end, just in case something mad happens. But when you're able to change formation without making a sub, then you've definitely got half a chance of seeing it more often. S17's asking for thoughts on Levi Colville. I mean, listen, he's been doing well. He's been putting up some good performances for Huddersfield already. He's imposing.
Impressing a lot of people already. Some standout performances. Yeah. And this guy could be like, he's one of the best young English defenders in the country. Like this guy's going to be a star. And you know what I love about the kid already, man, is just that you just see that that confidence. I mean, some people might think it's being cocky, but just that confidence. Like he's like, I'm going to Huddersfield to do this, to get in the team to play and come back and see what I can do. And that is like what we coach in these kids. That's why they always improve and go to the top and have great careers, because of that mentality that we've taught them since they were young. And that's what makes it makes our kids special. It makes our players that we produce a different pedigree in that sense. So I've got high hopes for him. I think he could be incredible at the back. I mean, he's kind of got everything in it. 6'4", fast, good on the ball, very good on the ball, comfortable driving forwards. Oh, I've been crying out for it as well. This guy could be an absolute sensation. It's very. Do you know what it is now? Now I'm trying not to get too attached because Mark Gurhey, Tomori. They all played in that role, left side. Tomori played left side as well. Home game against Liverpool, covered Alonso great against Salah. I think we could produce an entire defensive three, Tomori.
Do you know what this club producing defenders on a conveyor belt for fun. Do you know, just think of the defenders we could put out there. Gurhey, Colwell, you've got Tomori, you've got Livramento, you've got Reece James, you've got Sterling. Everybody likes Sterling. He's gone off the grid now, but everybody was liking Sterling in pre-season. Trevoh Chalobah as well, Tariq Lamptey. It's kind of freakish. I don't know what.
And it's just this consistency every year. And we've still got kids in the younger age groups, man. I'm looking at Derek Abu, sick young right back coming through too. Another one on the conveyor belt that everyone's got to keep an eye out for. I'm looking at players like Anderson, that winger we signed from Sweden. I mean, he looks exciting when he cuts inside. You know what I mean? Charlie Webster's another big talent. 2-footed playmaking king. I'm really hoping that at some point in the season he gets at least one game. And how can I forget Jude Sinsett-Bell? You know what I mean? He's just some starboy striker. Yeah, I feel he's gonna have another good season, and it'd be nice to see maybe if he even gets, even a game or with at the end of the season a very good low move, and he's another one to watch out for. So, I'm sure I don't know anything under 16. I don't know what's happening down there, but I'm sure there's some other age groups coming through right now that we will watch out for in the next 5 years or something. So it doesn't stop, man. Really, if you want
the best training and coaching and the best chance to get to elite level football, you know where to go. Bro, do you know what I mean?
That would be my dream. If I can have a son,
and put him in Chelsea.
This is why I'm doing this YouTube, bro. Now,
you throw on the Travago tracksuit, you ain't got another choice, bro. You know where you're going.
I'm gonna get my kids to call them, bro.
Do you know what it is as well? Yeah, I mean, people will say, why do you go on and on about the youth? I mean, first of all, they are part of the club as well. It just depends whether you're interested or not. I don't claim to watch loads of youth games, but I am interested in who's coming through because 2 reasons. A, Trevoh, you saw the way he broke down for the goal. That is priceless. In front of a full Stamford Bridge, I wasn't there, unluckily. But if I was there, I'm pretty sure I would have felt something even more than I already did.
Yeah.
Like, I felt a lot watching it. Now, if I was there, I probably would have felt even more. To see a man crash to his knees, enjoy, that is not something you see often. And it's something you can't buy. Do you know what I mean? That is there from your father or your mother taking you to training week in, week out when you're young, up and down, do you know what I mean, to that training ground in the hope that you'll make it. And also because if you want to go down the financial route and you want to get ruthless with it, go and look at Chelsea's net spend in this window. How many players have we sold because of fantastic development? And to be honest, they're worth way more than we've sold them for. But unfortunately, their contracts running down. We've been put in difficult positions. But really, most of these players that we've sold for 5, 10 million, we should actually be getting more for them because they're worth more than that. And they're going to show how quickly they're worth more than that in less than a year. However, it is what it is. But it's allowed us to buy Lukaku for nothing. We ain't spend nothing. Arsenal spent way more than us in this window. It's incredible. You wouldn't think so. But because of the fantastic development and because these guys are rated so highly, people think, oh, they're rated so highly. Why are they not here? They're rated so highly. That's actually why they're not here. Because they're rated so highly that Premier League clubs are ready to pay to put them in starting 11s now. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're too good to play Carabao Cup games. I would love to be able to say, right, you go back up there, you go back up there, you do what we want you to do. You sit there on that bench and you wait for Rudiger to retire and you do that, But they don't want to listen because they're just too good. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing we can do about it. Someone asked earlier as well about Zuma to Tottenham. I know you're a big Zuma fan. I like Zuma. I'm okay to part ways because I think, first of all, Trevor's looking great as well. So he's going to need a slot. But if we do sign Jules Koundé as well, I do like that player as well. But I'm not a fan of selling him to Tottenham. What do you think?
It's not going to happen. I don't want to spend too much time on something that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, we got better things to talk about. Yeah, and
you're not worried at all because if this happens now, they're gonna be like, "Hey, hold on a second.
This.
You told us that shit wasn't gonna go down like that."
You know what I mean? Taking screenshots right now. Relax, you guys. Relax. Come on, enjoy the stream. But yeah, obviously, I wanted to even add to your youth point. Obviously, I, of course, totally agree with your reason. And like one of my reasons for just enjoying youth is just on that level of, okay, we all know that every football player comes from an academy. Like every player we've seen in the world comes from one. They didn't come from the moon or the stars or from outer space, nothing like that. And obviously, it's just that base enjoyment of seeing who the next stars are going to be before they become them. You know what I mean? It's just
like being ahead of the curve. It's like finding, you know what it's like? I don't like it when people pretend like they don't understand. You don't have to, you don't have to like it. You don't have to be interested. I don't care. If people don't follow the youth or they don't care about the youth, that's cool. But I don't like it when people don't pretend like they don't get it. Because when you find a new artist or a new rapper and they haven't been made mainstream yet, and they're not mainstream yet, everybody's like, "Yo, I was here first. I knew about him first.
That's what I mean.
I knew about him before he blew up."
That's what I mean.
So don't pretend like you don't know what it's like to unearth something before others. Come on, man. And this is why we can't talk about this on Twitter. Because if I talk about this on Twitter, it's going to be long. So that's why I didn't tweet today. I can't talk about it.
Way too long.
Twitter is the longest thing. Wow. If you find a rapper before they've blown, you feel good inside because you're like, yo, I know my taste in music is on levels. So if you find, that 18-year-old, 17-year-old kicking ball in the under 23s and you've gone to a couple games for £5 and you're like, yo, that's the one. And everyone's like, I don't really know who that is. Cool, watch. And then he actually gets there. Come on, man. You're going to feel some satisfaction, of course.
And that's literally the whole point of it. So like you're right. Like when people start making it something it's not, it's so annoying. Right? When you hear stupid terms like sexual and youth nonce and all these like stupid terms, it's just like, are you purposely trying not to understand it? Are you purposely trying not to understand it? Because it's like I've never understood why some people are pressed behind. And it's just like this. That's the internet. Like people will make like a war out of anything and everything. You know what I mean? Anything and everything. It's weird. I'm not saying it's straight weirds. Weirds.
Bless up Yannick, bro. Bless up Yannick for the comments. Twitter is the longest thing. Is my quote of the day.
Bro, man.
I don't know, man. Do you know what? I feel like, I don't know. Maybe people need to do threads more often. Maybe if we do more threads and less just tweets, and maybe we'll get points across easier. Because I feel like there's just not enough characters. But also I feel like Like I had a thing last night where there was a clip of an old podcast 2 years ago that went up, and someone and I wasn't even talking, bro, but someone said to me, "Hey, you're a bystander. Why didn't you jump in and say something? I was like, what do you want me to do? Reach through the laptop and pull in this Phosophagus and tell him don't call Christian Bitchisian.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, all right, cool. But first of all, for a podcast, you're meant to let people speak and then you speak after them. He was like, oh, well, you probably agree with him. I was like, okay, now I've clocked. You don't actually want to hear what I've got to say. You just don't like me. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know when someone just don't like you. So you give them a logical reason as to why they're wrong. And why they don't quite understand the situation and the context, and they'll be like, "Well, it's probably something else." And then
you know what it is.
Another reason, like, it's something else.
You know what it is, bro. You know what it is. It's like, because obviously, like when I've started YouTube, obviously I've clocked certain things that you would never ever really notice at all unless you were doing this job, especially like with how people work and stuff like that. And it's just like, like one of the things that I see all the time is just like, it seems like people look at us like we're like 2D characters, which I understand because we only ever talk about one thing and one topic. So it's very easy to characterize whoever you see on screen as just like this 2D thing. And that's why, like, I guess you get 2D responses. You know what I mean? Like people just instant like reaction or boom, boom, boom. Because that's what I guess we're given if it's opinions or whatever. But yeah, I think people, this is what I mean. Like,
do you know what they should
anyone could be a YouTuber. You just get your phone, just put it in front of your face and upload. Like it's not, it's weird to me. And I don't know. I feel like people forget that a lot. And it makes things more difficult than it has to be. Like a lot like that. Things like Twitter, like brother, I'm tweeting most times when I'm in the bathroom. You know what I mean? It's just like
on the toilet. Yeah. Do you know what they should do? Bro, they should create that. You know that thing. I don't know what show it was, but you used to be able to buzz. The judges used to buzz, and then their chair used to swivel. What they should do, is every time you get into the disagreement with someone, you should be able to press a button, and then it automatically puts their camera up. And then you have to go on a 1v1, like a discussion about it. Obviously, that would be like breaking bare terms of privacy. But listen,
at this point, very long too.
I would just love to directly talk to some of these people because I honestly don't believe they're real sometimes.
Yeah, I know, man. But they need to just remember, like, is your concern that deep? You know what I mean? Why are you that pressed about it, bruv? Like, end of the day, we're just all nerds who like football. It's just like Star Wars nerds and all them nerds. We're the same equivalent. This is why you guys
it's the same as
on
K-pop
live right
Twitter.
Now, watching us at 10 o'clock right now, listening to football and us talking.
It's the same as K-pop Twitter, Ariana Grande Stan Twitter. Of course. When you actually step back from football Twitter, you just look at it. Like, yo, you bunch of nerds, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're all nerds.
Out here bringing up statistics of other man them doing things on pitches.
It's like, this is why I can't take the beef serious or any of the nonsense serious. It's just like, it's just nerds fighting against nerds. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on now. Let's be better.
Long. Odella says, is KP10 a long-term player? Can't seem to stay fit. I don't know if he's fit or not. That's a rumor. But what I will say is the same thing I said before this injury rumor. And it's a big season for him. I think some people lean on the fact that he's a marketable player, and obviously he's a very good player, but the fact that he's marketable and he does great shirt sales and America might buy him more time. But I think it's also very clear that if he doesn't play often, and I think it was said in a presser or said in an interview that he has to obviously work for his minutes. There's a lot of competition. He has to play well to play. Got the goal the other day, which was a good start. If he doesn't play often this season, it doesn't get consistency, maybe he will want to leave. Because when you're America's golden boy, golden child, and you've got that reputation, and then you've got Rayner coming through and McKenzie and other players that could potentially steal that title from you. Puma deal, big billboard outside the bridge. There's a lot going on there. You'd want to play games. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not playing consistently, he will even potentially look at his future and say, yo, what's going on here? I need to be playing games. So maybe I need to step down for a second and then step back up again. So Pulisic, big season for Pulisic, I think, because it's been a lot of stop-start for him. We know at his best what he can do, but we don't get to see it for a full campaign. And the position that he's in is just so competitive, man. And Chelsea love to splash in that position as well.
Yeah, it doesn't last very long, that position. You know what I mean? It's really about staking your claim and securing your spot. But I think Christian's got some great talent. I feel like the injuries have been the thing, though. Like when I've seen him do improvements of things like his defensive game, getting back in position or pressing a bit better or releasing the ball better and stuff like that. It's a shame that he can't continue that because an injury comes not too long after. Let's see what happens, of course. Always going to wish best start for any and every player. You know what I mean? So I don't think right now I'm going to be worried too much. I think it'll have probably another 2 seasons at least, to be fair.
Before
I'd even give him another season. I'd even give him another one, to be fair.
Because he's young, isn't it? And you know what? When you can see potential, you don't want to press the red button too soon, because we could have done that with Christensen, and then we wouldn't be getting what we're getting now.
I know.
I remember I was like, do you know what? I think Christensen needs to leave. I think he's a good player, but if you put him in Spain, Bundesliga, I remember my exact words. You put him in La Liga or Bundesliga, maybe it will be better for him. Take him out of the Prem, maybe too physical for him. But little did I forget his age. Prime centre back is 27, 28, 29, 30.
That's what I'm saying.
Give him that little bit more time. Look at him for Denmark. Colossus.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Colossus.
Amazing. And for me, I always kind of had confidence because it was all about him getting bigger and bulking up, which is what he's done. And now he's physically imposing them. When I saw him knock Benteke to the floor in that game, you see how aggressive he was.
Bro, I love it.
Into his man.
The only thing I needed.
But then those first balls, was Christensen ever winning first balls like that? No. He was getting back on the floor, breaking his nose, getting this cut, hitting this knee or whatever like that. So, he deserves massive credit because, he's always been when John Terry's, rating you like that, obviously, I can't ignore those words, can I? I'll be a fool soon. I'll be an absolute fool.
100%. Yannick is saying, quick fire question for the both of you. How many Premier League goals and assists for Romelu Lukaku? Obviously, we did goals earlier in the show. I love the R9 thing. It's mad.
When Chelsea got to do some mad marketing with that one.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah. He's bald as well, so you definitely have to. When you think about it, they were both bald as well. Ronaldo was bald at one point. I think for goals, you said about 20 to 27.
I think I'd probably say 28 goals and maybe 7 assists, something like that.
You're really pushing it high for him, but I like that. Because he's capable. He's capable. I'll probably give him 23 goals, and I'll give him a few more. I'll probably give him 9 assists. Because I think he what I like about him is that, like Jan is saying, he got 11 assists last season. And a lot for Lautaro. He's a team player. So for Belgium, he's willing to run the channels and set others up as well. I think he set up a lovely goal for, I think De Bruyne finished the move. He gave it to Hazard from that right channel, dribbled around a couple players, good close control, gave it to Hazard, who gave it to De Bruyne, who scored a really good left foot finish at the near post. He's a team player. He's not one of these strikers that are just he gets goals, but he's not greedy. That's brilliant to see. Because a striker needs to be greedy, but they also need to know when to pass as well. They need to know when you need to set up someone else. And he's got a good cross on him as well. Seen some good crosses for Lautaro last season. I'm really excited to see just how many chances he creates for others as well. Because a lot of Chelsea fans talk about we need a creator. I'm not saying Lukaku's a creator. He's no Cesc Fabregas, but maybe he might help in that regard as a striker.
He can play that final pass. He's demonstrated that time and time again to Lautaro.
Yeah.
So
Drogba was great at it. Drogba put in some great crosses.
Drogba, especially out wide too, his whips, slow-driven crosses in the box was amazing. His free kick technique. That season where he banged in 40 plus. Bro, some of the goals, the execution was just out of this world.
Do you remember that Bolton goal for?
The long shot.
No, not that one. The was it Bolton? Do you remember they did this
Everton
little? They did this little. No, it was a team. It was a team goal, and someone.
It was Bolton. Deco.
Was it Ballack? Yeah. Lampard, Drogba.
Didn't it Ballack header it and then Drogba or Lampard flicks it or Drogba flicks it and then
I don't know. Yeah, but
Deco scored it or something. Right?
It was. I think it was Deco, Lampard, and Drogba. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Drogba. Yeah, Drogba finished the move. Lampard, I think, chested it. Deco might have flicked it, something like that. Can't remember exactly, but it was mad. It was mad.
Yeah, unreal goal. That's the goals you don't forget.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Do you ever feel sometimes, what's your 3 most memorable goals in the past 5 years?
Oh, 3 most memorable goals in the last 5 years.
Yeah. It's hard, right?
Let me think. I'm trying to think of, obviously, Kai Havertz's Champions League final. That's never going to get forgotten.
Yeah.
Reece James got an absolute screamer against Brighton. I'm not going to forget that.
Yeah.
It's not a big moment, but because it's Reece James. Because it's Reece James, it's something that I can't stop thinking about. I think maybe because I was at the game, Aspilicueta, even though it didn't count. You remember against Ajax?
Was it the volley, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't count. It was meant to be 5-4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Diego, I don't know if Diego Costa's against West Brom, probably not within the last 5, but that was a big goal for us as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he just worked it all on his own?
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. That for me, if I really thought about it, then I'd probably think of something. But right now, it's hard to think on the spot. And it's just
James versus Ajax, it's a big one.
But it's just like we can remember a goal from like 10 years ago, but not one from like 5 years ago. And it's just I don't know. I feel like sometimes that's what football's missing a little bit of that spontaneous. Like every season, like there used to be like one like classic goal scored, and I don't think I've seen that for the past few seasons now.
But that's why I was so happy to see Trevoh take that shot and it go in, reminding me of like when we had centre backs like Alex and David Luiz who would just pop them. And it wasn't that type of shot, but I haven't seen a long shot in a long time.
Yeah.
Shit.
In a long time. Everything's just starving. Like positional on the floor. I'm hoping that because normally I think that happens when players are like in their prime, when they know what to do and they can like really express themselves like that. Like I remember because like I saw Frank Lampard make that transformation. Like at the start, of course, he showed us talent every season, improving. But like during the years when it was like the 03-04 season going onwards, like it felt like every season, like technically he was just looking better and better on the ball, trying more outrageous things. Like that season when remember that lobbed goal he scored against Hull City?
Yes. Is that the home game?
That was away because I was at that game.
Drogba did it the home game.
But he scored like he scored like a long range like chip ball over the top.
I remember now. Like, against
left
Hull
foot,
City. Wasn't it? Left foot. Yeah,
I can't even remember. I was at that game though, and it's just like
left foot,
I remember that season. He was attempting that in so many different games, and then he finally pulled it off in that game against Hull, and it's just like
such a
that's what I mean. It's like you're almost having fun with it when you're attempting that to try and get that goal.
The audacity of it.
That's what I mean, and that's when you're proper world class, in my opinion, and that's how you're playing the game. And I think that I'll see that. I know Mount, he's got a lot more skills to show, got it. And do Kai as well.
Definitely see Ziyech is going to be doing it this season.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kai's been showing some world class touches with certain things. Like wasn't there one touch in the Palace game? It was really high in the air, and he just like control it on the floor.
Was this which game?
What game was that? But like, it's just so like some outrageous.
There was a game where Mason plucked out of the sky and put it immediately through for Kai. That was a great goal.
Yeah,
and then it was the Palace away game. Where I think someone lofted it over and then Kai bounced it over and then flicked. It was mad. That
was mad. And he's got a lot more to show when it comes to that. So I feel like over time we are going to see more of those types of moments, I guess. And I don't know, maybe just being patient or something.
Yeah, no, I definitely see some potential. Mason Mount, Ziyech, a couple of players that can shoot from distance. Hopefully, some more of them take the mantle as well. I mean, the last thing I want to talk about in terms of a topic, it's been a great stream. Trevoh Chalobah versus Jules Koundé, and obviously we spoke about Chalobah for a bit there. But how do you see this situation? Because it's difficult, isn't it? Because obviously we know Jules Koundé is a very, very talented centre back. He did brilliantly last year at Sevilla. He's got some great stats. For the position that we're planning to play him in terms of his dribbling, progression, all these kind of things. He looks like a rugby player in his physique. He's not the tallest, but he's quite aggressive as well. He looks like, your perfect, maybe modern day replacement for an Azpilicueta in that role in the future. How do you see it? Is it like a money thing with you, a certain amount of money you would spend, or are you just like, nah, let's go with Trevoh? Because loaning out Trevoh would be a weird one as well because he's 22, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, I mean, of course, I'm totally for having like Trevoh stay with the team now. I think, I'm sorry, like if everyone says you have to prove it and work for it, and when you do it, then you have to get your chance. Otherwise, what's the point then? You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I feel like everyone keeps saying get Koundé now. We can get him in another season. But there's more
when maybe some players have gone in their position.
And then when Thiago Silva's definitely going, that's something to plan for a year from now. Aspie might not getting as much game time in the team. He could be a utility guy who just plays odd games as centre back and wing back, And then players like Rudiger could decide to go. He hasn't signed a new deal yet. He could be in a position where we could be introducing someone back to the team and just signing a Koundé then. So I don't feel the need to have to address that area now. And I actually feel midfield is the most important one. And I tweeted this like a while back just to try and bring up that conversation. I don't think anyone's like thinking about this, and obviously it's that comes to new life now and that, but I look at Kante and Jorginho, and if anything happens to either one, that's affecting things. As I'm not trusting Kovacic. I mean, he's a good player, and he is most of his moments are more positive than negative. Let's keep it real. Yeah. But that defending man, balls and behinds, that lack of awareness is great at counter pressing. Anything behind is blinds.
He's not defensive.
Spot.
He's never been a sitter. I think Sarri even tried to play him there. It didn't really work.
Yeah, he can't. That's not his game. And I just wish he's a good, very, very good player. I wish he could elevate if his maybe passing was a bit better.
He has been. I think he did try. Was it Villarreal? He did give away some sloppy short ones, but he did try some more dynamic long range passing. I was happy to see that.
For sure,
might be an instruction.
I think the accuracy and the technique he has to really perfect more in training, maybe to get that floatiness right, and just maybe it's the judgment of the ball a bit better. But yeah, I feel like someone like Declan Rice or Tremeni, these are the solutions. Declan Rice. For me, I'll be honest, I would even like him even maybe more than Tremeni, even though I love both. And I'm hoping in our long-term future, we do have both these guys in our team. You know what I mean?
Do you think there's space for both with Gilmour
in the future? Well? I don't see Jorginho and Kovacic staying forever, to be fair. I think they'll be to be replaced one day.
I mean, they're all getting to that age, isn't it, where you're going to look at the next crop afterwards.
That's what I mean. And so there will be at least 2 spaces, I'd say, in the team. And then Kante, who knows, he could decide, I've won everything here. He's flirted once or twice about potentially going. He'd be like, I've won the league now, I've done everything. I know I want to go to Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. So I can retire there and play, So there's all these things that could possibly happen. And yeah, I think, we need to have some confidence in ourselves that we can attract the best players. I mean, we've been proving that. We did that with so many. Werner, Kai, is everyone forgetting? And,
Bellingham's another one, isn't it? Long-term target. Bro, Bellingham, that's a proper box-to-box midfielder, bro.
That's what I mean.
It's been a while since we had one of those.
And he's young. You can sign him when he's 22. It's like another 4 years from now, which is mad. 21, 4 years. So this is what I mean. It's we can definitely prepare for the future, but not go too crazy in the present. I think now's the time to give opportunities. And listen, if not, it's a January market. That's what it's there for. Koundé's not going anywhere. You could just sign him in January. I guarantee Sevilla would do that.
Do you know what they could do as well? They could do a pre-agreement deal where they sign Koundé, but they loan him back to Sevilla for a season. And that way you guarantee that you've got him, but you don't have to push him straight in now because maybe there's not that room, but there's going to be room next season because someone's going to go. Silva, Rudiger.
I'd hope we wouldn't, because I don't get the vibe that we'd buy a defender and a centre-back. I thought at first he signed a striker, centre-back and midfielder, and then you're thinking that's over 200 million, 240 mil, 200 mil. I guess that's not happening anymore, even though I thought we had the money for that. But yeah, I guess I think this midfield is more important. I just think that actually, to be fair, who knows? Maybe we're going to just wait until January. I think we can also do that as well. It's not too far. It gives a proper opportunity to really address the team properly. I mean, Ruben hasn't been playing because he's had COVID. A lot of these guys picked up COVID during pre-season. So, I thought he looked all right too. He didn't look terrible. So, let's see what the squad can do first, I feel.
Where do you see... the only thing with Ruben is I just don't see where he fits. Where does he get in? Because it's just... Every position he's going for is so crowded. And then obviously that pivot, there's a fourth spot there. But then he's not a sitter, which is what we're looking for. Do you know what I mean? So
I don't know. I think I've got a bit of a different take to that. I do think if I'm Ruben, I'm thinking, okay, for now, I need to try and beat Kovacic, which I don't know. I don't think Kova's form, I don't think he had a great Euros, to be fair. And I don't think pre-season he really let things up. I mean, I'm just saying, he looks a little bit sloppy for a tiny bit now. I think even ended the season too. He hadn't been playing as much, lost his place. So Ruben, you have to start slow, small. Okay, I need to try and beat Kova to be the third choice one. And also,
is Ruben what we need though?
That's what I'm saying. With how we defend, I think potentially we can. Because I look at Kova and I don't see him as a defensive guy at all. But we all have confidence with him playing there because of his ball skills. But defensively, he's cost us many a time. We saw he cost Croatia many a time, at least 2 times in the Euros, which is terrible. You know what I mean? And no one sees him as a liability, which he is. So I don't think Ruben is as bad or worse, in my opinion. And we also got to realize with how we play as a team off the ball, everything is very compact. The distances aren't very far. It's we have the wide centre back who really pushes up to mop up any danger. And if someone gets caught out, the second centre back comes out, and it's just this is why we're so fantastic defending off the ball. There's always like a last ditch tackle, last ditch extra man coming out from nowhere. And it's just the beauty of how Tuchel set us up. So I do think, obviously, as I saw us during pre-season, a few times maybe we weren't as compact as we should be. Of course, different players, different teams, subs happening left, right, and center. But I saw Ruben looking comfortable and doing what he has to do. Win his 50-50 duels and move it. And I don't know. I feel like I would give him at least until January to see. And I don't think he'd be this liability we're expecting. to be fair. And yeah, I don't see it as being too much of a risk, to be fair.
Cover's an interesting one because obviously I like Cover a lot. I think he's a great player.
No, he's a very good player.
On the ball, getting out of a press, it's you may as well not even press the guy. I think as Pep said, if you keep the spaces close, I think he's good there. Do you know what I mean? I think he's good there. If you keep it compact and because he does get about and he does make a tackle and he does get stuck in, but I think he's not an out-and-out defensive midfielder. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to ever be that guy. It's just not wired to be that. But also with Kova, which is I find quite strange. Every time because I think we've definitely spoken about Kova before, because he's not really a 6, he's not really an 8, he's like a hybrid. Every time Kova drops off and it's like, yo, maybe he's looking a little bit shaky, he always comes back and then he's back in the team again and he's firing and he's having a good run of games again. So it's a weird one with Kova, and he's not the oldest as well. He's actually probably the youngest out of the three of them as well. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. He's got the number 8 shirt, which is, you don't get that shirt. Well, Barkley just had it, but we'll see. You don't get that shirt unless there's something going on in terms of.
I was going to let you off for that one. I was going to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just cool. You corrected yourself though. But yeah, obviously.
I asked my own question there.
I mean, I don't want to be like, I hate Kova, blah blah blah. He's dead. I mean, obviously. It's hard. It's got to be more balanced, of course. I mean, he is a great player. I love his ball skills. I love like the thinking and the technique behind the skills he does. Like, like the little, there's that skill he does when the ball's coming to him. He'll just hit it away from him first time and then accelerate into, run onto the ball.
But this is why I think he's better in that box to box role, isn't it? Yeah, not sitting.
But I think Kova for me would work. I don't know. I think maybe it's weird, like maybe in a 4-3-3. I think in a system like this potentially. But I mean, like I said, he's a fantastic player on the ball. Very smart, intelligent. He has a habit of working hard a lot more times than when he doesn't. And he shows some very good quality on the ball. Most times. But I just think obviously what separates the very, very good from the top class, world class is just how often do you get those final moments right all the time? And I think maybe that's what kind of stops him
this season.
That's all it is. If you were going to give him a score out of 10, what are you going to give Kova out of 10?
In general, as a player?
Yeah, if you had to just give a score.
I'll probably give him like a 7. Right now, probably a 7.
Yeah, like a 7
right now. When he's at his best, probably an 8 when he's at his best.
Exactly, and I feel like if you were at that type of imaginary score, then you obviously that's going to come with maybe a few more cons. It doesn't mean the player's bad. But I think,
I'm very interested because in that was it the Villarreal? I think the Villarreal game, his passing was his long the switches he was looking for Hudson-Odoi. I was very impressed with how much he was trying to push that. So. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if Tuchel because Tuchel's a coach, so I'm interested to see if Tuchel
definitely improve.
Force him, because if he forces him to play those passes and he can play them off, which I think he has. I think he has the ability to do so. I mean, when someone that is that technical, you'd expect them to be able to play those passes. Then that's going to change his outlook massively if he can start playing killer passes more often.
I think that one thing I wish he could do. He's so phenomenal about making space for himself with his playing tight areas. If he could learn to contribute that into taking shots and goal, just to bring a different dynamic, really work on your shooting techniques, try and master that, because that could really bring something unique to the team. If he's skip past someone and then they don't know where to close them down or not, or you know what I mean, or space is created for him, which is a ton of space. That could bring something, and this is what I mean. Like the guys like your Lampards, Balaks, all those guys, they were always working on stuff like that. They were always working on new bits of skill in their game. I remember Lampard, for time, he used to get criticised for not being able to head the ball. And there was that season where he scored 5 headers, 4 headers in one season. Yeah, because that's something he was constantly working on all the time. And I feel like that's what I want to see more in players today. I feel like you can see a player from how they are, and they don't really ever become different 5 years later or 10 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, some people in the chat are saying he needs to add goals to his game. I don't think he does at all. I don't think
not every player needs to add goals. Not every player needs to add goals. Kova, I'd be happy with him getting us 5 goals a season. You know what I mean? He's got
I think if the front three do their job, all I need from Kova is just some more killer passes, and I don't need assists because you can play a killer pass and then that could be the pre-assist, or that could be the thing that sets up the opportunity for someone else to give. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to get a certain amount of assists. I just want to see daring passing in between the lines constantly from him.
Quicker. Like a few times, Timo Werner has suffered a few times because he didn't get that cover pass a bit quicker into the space, you know?
Yeah. Timo Werner does make those runs. The only thing with Timo is I just need his finishing to be on point, man, because I know Lukaku, Lukaku's going to help him a lot, but Lukaku is not going to force you to finish. Do you know what I mean? That's on you. You have to make that right connection with the ball. Adelier says I'd play Chalobah and spend on a CM and sell Loftus-Cheek. I mean, this is the thing. Someone's got to go, right? If we bring in a centre back, I think Trevor's got to go out on loan unless he's going to move into midfield. But he hasn't been used in midfield at all so far in pre-season.
At the back too, like there's best ones there. I mean, it's interesting. You know, it's interesting to see what will happen in midfields. Is Zuma going to even stay? Is he going to go? What's happening there? I can't imagine him going to Spurs. You know, I'd have to take something ridiculous for that to happen. You know, it's still quite uncertain, like how our window is going to end. We don't know if a centre back is going to be the guy or midfield player, or if we're even going to get anyone. But if we don't even get anyone, just don't get no one. You know what I mean? Don't get no B tier player for no reason, like we always tend to do. You know, near the end of the transfer window, just forget about it and wait till January. You know, put the work in now and you get it in January.
Obi says the only fault in Kova's game is his goal scoring. I wouldn't agree with that. Yeah,
I mean, of course. I mean, I get it. Like, obviously, Kova does like these, like, you know, like in the moment in games. Like, you know, like for me, Kova's like a good player. Of course, most of the times he's doing the positive stuff, but then there are like those elements of imperfection. You know what? That's all it is. Like, I think he's a top player. You know, he's great tackles he's made, like in the Super Cup final. You know, doing good things, doing big things. I mean, of course, there's the skill too, but I just think it's just fair to just address it for what it is. I mean, there's certainly things he can improve on to be a more all-round midfielder. I think, and he's got time to.
Yeah, I think when you look at our midfielders, like you think of like Essien, Ramirez, these were like the all-rounders that covered everything. Do you know what I mean? Goals, tackles, box to box, energy, you know, physicality, everything. Do you know what I mean? That's the era we're coming from. So if you haven't got all, if you haven't got all of that, then you can definitely get. There's a few things that you need to improve on to get that. If we do sign, I mean, for me, Declan Rice is not going to happen this summer. It doesn't look like he's pushing the move. And West Ham look mad expensive as well. Tuchemeni, we may have left it too late. I don't know. I think Monaco qualified for the Champions League.
He can't go Man United. If he goes Man United, we might have to make a bids, man. We can't let him go. If we let him go Man United, he completes them. And that I don't want to see Man United come back again. Like that thing caused me a lot of pain growing up as a fan, you know. That can't happen again.
But if we did sign one of those guys, hypothetically, would you be open to selling Loftus-Cheek?
I mean, what would it be like? Cover
Jorginho, Kante, Rice, or Tuchemeni?
I think that's what I'm saying. If it came down to that, then maybe it would probably mean that. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, I've got favorite players. You guys, a lot of people know one of my other favorite players was like David Luiz. I like these Marmite players. I can't help it. I see certain things they do. I like them. But yeah, you know, at the same time, I'm not going to be crying if we then obviously get something for the team. But you know, let's wait and see what happens in those areas. But yeah, I don't know. Declan Rice, Tuchemeni, I think, we're like perfect then, to be honest.
The midfield has always been the priority over defender, you know, unless it's wing back. I was actually quite intrigued to see if a wing back come in, because I obviously advocated for Reece James to go back free for quite a while. I do like him in that position. Whether it's Hakimi or Tino Livramento, I would have been delighted to see a right wing back over there. That's a natural right wing back. And then, you know, that would have been cool as well. But the midfield for me after the striker is always key, because we don't have the depth there, you know, or we don't know who we're playing there. Someone said Ampadu as well as fourth choice. Ampadu seems to be better in a back three as well. You know, Sheffield United used him there. Leipzig used him there. I know he can play in midfield. I've definitely advocated for that in the past, but I do like him in this formation. In a back four, now I'd definitely be pushing for Ampadu and DM, because I don't think I want to see Ampadu in a centre back back four.
I don't know.
But in a back three,
he's
What about you?
I don't know. I think he is a very good player. I think he's been unlucky with the loans. If they came a little bit earlier, I think would have put him in a better position for right now. But I just don't think right now is the time. I think getting a good loan move was the best thing, and you know, just maybe safeguarding that position, you know, and you know, finding a consistent team to play for now. But Yeah, man. I was gonna add something to the last point, but I completely forgot what we were just talking about.
Before just this. The midfield. I think Loftus-Cheek and the DM situation in terms of who we would have to get rid of if we brought him in.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just we got a lot of numbers in this squad, and I think Marina, she's working on outgoings now. I think we saw Emerson for Lyon today. We saw potentially, who else was it? Batshuayi's obviously already gone to Besiktas as well. Like the next few days, you're just gonna see bang, 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 just deal after deal after deal, just getting players out. We have too many, way too many. I think Kennedy went as well. I think he signed a new contract and went on a loan. I don't even know where. I can't remember. It just flashed up on my phone. It's like every 5 minutes someone's leaving. It's ridiculous. But before we wrap up, Arsenal, just very, very quickly, obviously, because I know you got your own previews to do. I don't want to spoil the information for the next videos. We've got a lot of content the next few days for both of us to release on Arsenal. But how are you feeling going into the game? Obviously, we've got a shocking record last 3 games, but Lukaku's in town. How are you feeling?
I'm going to sound proper arrogant for absolutely no reason. I'm just going to put that out there straight, you guys, prepare yourselves. But
no.
But for me, I don't know. I feel like Arsenal one of them teams now where I'm just not fully... I'm kind of seeing them at like an Everton type of level, you know what I mean? Just like, trying to like get out from the bottom of like top 10, you know what I mean?
Bro, they're mid-table.
Trying to fight for European spot, basically. That's how it's got. And I feel like with teams like that, when we play against them, most times we lose because we've played badly or made mistakes ourselves, not because they've outplayed us. And every time we've lost to them, it's because they've capitalized on a moment, not that they've outplayed us or putting us under great pressure or danger.
Game at Stamford Bridge is a great example.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like absolutely nothing. So it's one of them ones where it's just like sloppiness is what's been a factor. And I think now there's going to be great hunger for this game. Lukaku playing, the players are raring to go. Bro, this is a new season. They're getting a week's break in between games. Do you understand? But you're not traveling non-stop, left, right, center, having a life. Living in hotels for how long? You know what I mean? You've got a whole week to rest, recover, and you know what I mean? So, yeah, these guys will definitely right those wrongs this weekend. And I don't think Arsenal will be able to cope. I think they're under too much pressure. There's no confidence at all from their fans. The media is all against them. I don't think they have any of the personalities there to really, fight against that and make something happen. So, I
there's no Aubameyang and Lacazette as well. Aubameyang's missing.
They're in a rebuild. They're in a rebuild. So I actually think Arsenal fans need to maybe calm down a bit and just accept that it's going to be a long. That's going to be a long road to the top. You're losing a lot of young guys from an academy that's not as good as ours. Because when our academy guys played first team football, we got a Champions League spot.
Facts.
These guys can't produce the same things. There's no insult. We've been beating these guys for a while. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, instead of like talking about yesteryears that aren't there, face the reality of what's happening now. It's a complete rebuild. Lukaku himself said it. This is coming from a boarder's mouth himself. It's a rebuild. So accept that there's going to come defeats the Brentfords who, you are at that level where other teams can raise their game to outplay them. You know what I mean? They're not on some next level where they can never be outplayed by any other team.
I mean, when you look at their starting 11 against Brentford, it was a mid-table 11. It was. Yeah. Some nice players in there, but it was a mid-table 11.
It's not like us, our level's that high where there's only a handful, maybe one team in the world that could even properly outplay us. And under two, I'm not even feeling that anymore, bro.
I would love to buck that. I would love to buck PSG.
You know what I mean?
Bro,
yeah.
Do you know what it is? Backs against the wall.
PSG, come on.
Yeah. Backs against the wall. Silver and Tuchel against PSG. Everybody thinks PSG is going to get it. Messi. Man. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, they got all stars.
Can you imagine YouTube that day?
Shithousery.
You know what I mean? Chelsea times Paris Saint-Germain YouTube, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy.
But it's true. We have a lot of depth. If you look at Chelsea's, even their second team, if you put together, we could put together 3 teams. But if you check Chelsea's second team, it's probably better than Arsenal's starting 11 right now. No cap.
Sorry. Can I even say something ridiculous? I never normally do this. I always like to have the chat on screen as I'm doing it, see what some of you guys are saying every now and then. But to this guy called Augie Music, sorry, man. This is a personal insult. He said, NiiNii, stop following this guy when he suggested to sell Kante in 2018. When I suggested to sell Kante. Me of all people. Maybe there's another mixed race guy who talks about Chelsea on YouTube that I haven't seen yet. Potentially, there could be another one of me.
Maybe he's talking to me. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know who is he talking to me.
I don't know.
Maybe he's talking to me.
I don't think it could be me. I'd like to think more.
I like. Do you know what I like?
My job properly. Then
you know what I like is when people say things with no context, because I love it. It's like, oh yeah, just sell Kante. That's what would have been said.
That's what I mean.
Nothing to do with like him being overplayed and he's picking up injury after injury, or I was never a fan of him really playing lone DM in a 3-man midfield as well. That's where he was playing things like that. Like, there's never any context or anything. I don't know. Well, I don't know who he's talking to. But at the end of the day, it's very important to put context on that, people.
Yeah,
even still, if you don't want to put context on it, doesn't matter. It's not life or death.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What are you gonna do? Sell Kante. What are you gonna do now? What now? What
Bro,
now?
Imagine if we took your advice, though. We'd be in the mud right now. We'd be out of here. You know what I mean? If we didn't have Kante, we wouldn't have anything right now. So, I was on the put out there. I was one of them guys from the start saying, "No, I'm sticking with Kante to the end." And it is a football.
I'm just glad he's back in that pivot. I can't lie to you. I'm just glad. I love him in that role.
Brother, I feel like it's like this. You know what I mean by that example I said before of like players adding new things to the game every season, that type of thing. This is Kante. Look at the football this guy's playing now. He looks like a midfield maestro. He's not just doing one job to that perfection.
Yeah,
his overall game, how he's running things everywhere on the field.
We have to look after him.
Wow,
we have to look after him. Like. This is why I'm very keen on to see what happens in midfield, because I would love it if in some games we can bring him off 60 minutes, or we don't even need to play him because we know we got bigger games coming.
If we have like a Rice or Shlemeni,
because he picked up another knock there. Yeah. He's picked up another knock. So that's what I'm saying.
I was going with Kova and Jorginho against Arsenal, where Kova, he could just the sun could just get at him from one angle and then they start the game. You know what I mean?
Jesus. I like that pivot. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
I'm playing. He's a sick player, man.
I do like this pivot, but I do want. What I would like is you've got a Kante and a Jorginho, and then you've potentially got a Tchouaméni and a cover. Because then you've covered all bases. This is why I'm getting more and more high on Tchouaméni, because you bring in Tchouaméni and you're bringing in a little bit more strength. You're bringing in someone that can be box to box and they can sit.
Yeah.
And you're stopping a potential situation where Cover's like last man of defense, and you're asking him to do something that he's not really, too experienced in doing. Because really, Cover is someone that you should allow him to run free a little bit. Do you know what I mean? He likes to carry the ball. He likes to go forward. Same with Kante. Release him. So then you need someone that's going to be regimented, sitting, and directing, like a Mikel, someone like that.
Actually, you know what? To be fair, I need to keep it real. I did think his last performance against Crystal Palace actually was good, and it's what you even mentioned. Obviously, he kind of played the Kante role in the team. You know what I mean? He was on that right hand side, and you know how we're all defending in boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought Kovacic looked quite good defensively. I'm not gonna like I said, I like the player a lot. His skills, he's a guy you'd watch in a stadium. You know what I mean? But I got me even thinking. Could we see like greater defensive efficiency from him? There's still a lot of interesting questions we're even putting out there. This is all just a hypothetical discussion at this point. We're not saying this is definitive. So, like I said, I thought he kind of pressed extremely well alongside Jorginho. So if we're playing against certain teams, let's get him.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I think we've addressed really everything, bro.
I think so, man.
All I'm very interested. He just completely. Where did he go? I don't know. Maybe something died. Maybe his phone died. I don't know what happened there. There he is.
What happened there?
What happened there, fam? That was nuts.
Sorry, that the thing that's had to refresh. Yeah.
But it scared the shit out of me, honestly.
I
thought I did something. I was like, all right, we're done now. All right, just disappeared. Do you know what? That reminds me of Frank Khaled. Yeah. You won't mind me saying it. I've done a few streams with Frank Khaled on other channels. As soon as the stream's over, he just disappears. He's just gone.
Can't straight. You just see that the wind and the dust. Yeah. Like you see the after shadow of Frank Khaled's. Yeah.
But do you know what? Yeah, we've covered everything. It's been a great stream. I cannot wait until the transfer window is over.
Thank God, please. I just want to life again, please. I just want to have time to myself.
Yeah, I just want to watch the games, enjoy the team that we have, enjoy the success. No more rumors. Like whatever happens at this point. We brought in the striker. Obviously, some little cherry on top of the cake would be nice. But if it doesn't happen, I'm still good. I think the squad right now is looking beautiful. So I just want the end of the window to come. And whatever has to get done, get it done. Yeah,
man. You know, sometimes like with me in particular, I really need that unwind time just to be able to consume football, watch it, read about it. You know, I need it for ideas, to think, to question things, all that type of stuff. And sometimes like we're just like in that grind mode of having to, you know, pump it out.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It can get a bit draining at times and stop you from doing shit like that. So man, I can't wait for this thing to end.
You've had a long day, man. Like I said, let people know where to find you.
Bro. Of course, man. You guys, you know, if you want to find me, I have released 3 videos a day. Of course, shout out Football Therapy. You saw him on the stream today. Sick guy, blessed guy, my guy. Man, we did a 6th stream just discussing Chalobah and Koundé. And of course, other videos today, new news video, and of course, reacting to Lukaku's first press conference as well. So I got you guys covered today, man. All morning, all afternoon, all night.
Yeah, Victor slaps it into the chat on time, on cue, as per usual. Victor. The king, you, honestly. I'm running out of adjectives, and you know, for this man, he's honestly God's grace. Like I've never met
a bad Victor. I've
met Victor now. My granddad's called Victor, and I've met Victor because he came on the phone.
And that proves my point. Exactly. I've never met a bad Victor in my entire life. So
it's true, you know. They tend to be the classiest guys out of all.
he must have great parents too.
I mean, imagine you can't really
Victor, they must be pretty great.
Victor's a classy, established man. You can't really be called Victor and be doing a madness. Do you know what I mean?
And he's got a little bit of like a nice exotic twist to it, the Kajera at the ends. You know what I mean? Best of both. Hey,
the name is too established.
You can do a lot with that.
It's a man who has a suit on. Do you know what I mean? The man that has a suit on.
Yeah.
You know, one of them sticks as well, them canes.
Yeah.
With the hat. That's a Victor to me. That's what a Victor symbolizes.
That's what I mean. That's so you can like beat the poor people away with it. Like, get the hell out of here, mother. You know what I mean?
The money, y'all, the poor.
Get out of here.
That meme, fam. I'll use it to the day. I can't stop with that meme. Big up Victor. I'm glad he's getting love in the chat. People think we're talking about Victor Moses. Yeah, we can throw Victor Moses in there as well. He won us a title.
Yeah.
Check out NiiNii's videos. He's put out 3 videos today. That's a serious grind. Yeah. Go and make sure that you go and check what's going on. He's got 3 different topics. Do you know what I mean? And you know the detail that he's putting in there as well in terms of the analysis as well. And I think you're the only person I see that can watch comps. I don't know how you do that, but
I make it work somehow. Yeah, I don't know how it works.
I'm too scared to do it, but keep it up.
Don't think so. I'm touching wood. This is that conversation right there.
I'm telling you, I won't even say it too much before YouTube start clocking onto it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, guys, make sure you smash the like. Double stream today. Obviously, London Clubs College earlier. With Joel doing a madness as well. That was a lot of fun. We got All You Can Eat Chelsea tomorrow. Potentially a special guest on that as well. If we can get that finalized as we keep talking about these Arsenal previews going up into Thursday and Friday as well. So make sure you guys subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to NiiNii. The link is in the chat. Link is also in description as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All You Can Eat Chelsea, 11 a.m. Don't miss it. You already know what time it is. In a bit, people. Peace.
Cool.